New York City is known as the melting pot of the world. Thousands of languages are heard through our streets, and you can find food from opposite sides of the globe. You can travel through thousands of cultures, identities, and stories all in one subway ride. This was built from the experiences of millions of immigrants, bringing their cultures, experiences, and histories with them, and creating communities where their cultures can grow in a new space and honor traditions that began thousands of miles away. Every corner of the city holds a unique identity shaped by the people who lived, worked, and struggled here. It's common to pass from a Colombian bakery to an Indian sari shop all within a single block. In Flushing, storefronts are filled with Chinese, Korean, and Southeast Asian influences. Black culture is deeply rooted in New York City as well, helping shape the identity of the entire country. These communities are able to coexist here in a way that's almost unheard of in other areas of the world, making the experience of growing up in New York City so unique. Within Cardozo, we see this diversity firsthand. People of so many different backgrounds attend our school and wear their cultures proudly. We're able to find others to relate to and learn about many different kinds of people just within our school. Just like in Cardozo, cultures are spread across communities, and one of the most meaningful ways is through food. Cultures are able to be preserved and shared through the food that is passed down through generations. Traditional recipes find new life in kitchens, family-owned restaurants, and even street carts. For many immigrants, cooking and sharing their dishes becomes a way to hold on to their cultural identity while building a life in a new place. At the same time, cuisines are able to combine and influence one another. This makes the food of New York City so much more dynamic because cultures are able to be blended and adapted. Hispanic and Latino culture specifically is deeply woven into the identity of New York City. Communities across the 5 boroughs from every Latin American country have built cultural spaces that reflect their heritage and experiences. Food plays a central role in this cultural expression. Different dishes were brought to the United States by Latino immigrants and shared with people of different backgrounds. Specifically, empanadas are a staple food for many Hispanic families. Empanadas are a pastry consisting of a filling usually of chicken, cheese, or vegetables, then wrapped in dough and baked or fried. It was brought to Latin America from Spain in around the 16th century, but locals adapted it to their own ingredients and preferences. For example, Colombians making it with corn dough.
Okay guys, so we're currently in Brooklyn and we're trying out these empanadas at a Colombian cafe.
It eventually became the empanada that we know today. This, along with many other cultural foods, have become staples in New York City, and sharing it with others has become a way to preserve their identity while in a new place. Another notable area is Canal Street, where the cultures of many Chinese immigrants are not only able to be shared but also blended. We visited Spongy's Cafe where they sold Hong Kong-style sponge cakes, but the owner is actually a Mexican immigrant.
We're in Chinatown right now and we're going to be trying sponge cake.
Fernando Ponce immigrated to New York from Mexico when he was just 14. He was able to become an apprentice for a Chinese chef and realized Chinese sponge cakes are very similar to a type of Mexican sponge cake. He learned how to speak Cantonese and became immersed in the culture, eventually opening Spongy's Cafe in 2020. However, in many areas across the city, gentrification has become a pressing issue. Spaces that were built by immigrants seeking stability and community are now being lost due to bigger corporations coming in to replace smaller businesses. Places that have been around and beloved for years are closing down due to higher costs or simply being pushed out. It affects more than just the businesses, but also the communities surrounding them. In particular, food has become a major example of this change. Traditional affordable meals are replaced with higher prices for a lower quality of food. It doesn't carry the same authenticity or meaning behind what they're selling. This is why it's extremely important now more than ever to support immigrant-owned businesses from all over the world, to prevent these cultures from being lost and erased, and to preserve the melting pot that is New York City as we know it. With Katie Zhang and Ashley Yim, this is Rachel Mohan reporting for Veritas News.